Hey there everybody, this is the Vintage Sewing Machine Garage and I am bringing you the debut of the Singer 201 Centennial. This is serial number E. Edward F. Frank 554648. This is of course one of the Singer 201s that the company pulled out to label as a Centennial. It's basically a limited edition, although it was a great marketing campaign for them. They were celebrating their 100th anniversary, which tells you how old the sewing machine business is. Anyway, this is, of course, functionally, it's the same as any other 201. It was made in Canada. And I told you all how big Singer was. They had factories in Germany, in Great Britain, in the United States, of course, and France, and Italy, and Russia, and I'm sure there were other places I'm not even mentioning. But this one was made in Canada, and it would have been in the production line to be given the Centennial, marking in time for the 1950 and 1951 sewing machine selling year. And I just wanted to show this off today. We'll show some of its stitching. And again, some of these things, many of you, if you have a 201, you know how special they are and how coveted they are. They have a rotary hook, just like the Singer Featherweight, and also like the Singer 301 and the 400, 500 series. So we, of course, have the extra large harp throat space, which many people like, and it is a low shank machine. It uses low shank feet. Quite a lot of attachments go with this machine. You control your stitch length on the front. This one still has its gold numbering, which often gets worn away. That's another reason to only use gentle wiping of sewing machine oil. It has direct feed. You can sew in reverse by going all the way up, although it's, I'm not sure why you would. You of course lock in your stitches with back tacking with that. And let's see, this machine has a pretty long list of overhaul procedures, which all of my machines get. And the full list will be, if this machine does not sell before listing, and it may, if it does not, I'll put a pretty extensive list of everything that was done, and that includes everything from getting new grease into the motor bearings, disassembling the tension assembly, which are just wonderfully made, just to get it cleaned, adjusted, and even checked for any oxidation. This one doesn't have any, and just make sure there's some nice polish to seal off any oxidation in the future. And she has a working light, of course, and she comes with her original button style foot pedal, which I'm using with my hand today just to make it easier for me to get me and the camera and you all looking at the machine. So this is a machine that 201s often, I get requests for them. People ask them to be overhauled. They are not, I don't know if there is one machine that's the best that's ever made, because so many of the great vintage machines do so many awesome things, but this is certainly one of them. And I just, I go on and on about it for a reason. And I'm primarily a sewing machine restorer, whereas there are people who do lots more sewing than I would, if you can call what I do sewing. And they are the ones who have really taught me a lot about the machines they love and why they love them. So I've been doing some test stitching here. Got some nice light today, and I'm going to, get the machine over to do another row of stitches. And right now I have it on the longest stitch length, and of course you can see underneath, and I'll pull this fabric sample up so you guys can see it in a little bit, but the stitches are nicely balanced, and it's just a laser straight stitch here, which is such an incredible thing to see when you realize these machines were all analog. Of course, they had no electronic control. And if I can stop talking for a moment, you all can hear just how wonderfully quiet she runs. There's back tacking. There's a little bit of rattling you hear, and what you're hearing is this. Back in the day, thread spools, and many of you will find these in old sewing machine tables and cabinets, thread spools were made of wood. and they were long ago replaced with plastic. The wood is heavier and it doesn't quite make all the clanging. So if you're ever hearing a sound and you think, oh, what's my sewing machine doing? It might not be the machine at all. It might just be your little thread your little thread spool. And that is why up here where the pins are for the thread, you really need these felt. I've got new felt washers. You need those because it helps prevent the thread spools from bouncing all over the place. All right, let's take this off. Let you guys see. And I've got, let's see here. Yeah, here's this side. And you'll see, notice that she stitches right over the seam there. We've got 2 layers plus, I guess, another 2 here. And of course, the machine, as any really good machine should, maintains its stitch tension. And then you see the other side. And I've got a couple more layers. And again, that's not a lot for a vintage machine. This is sort of light medium weight cotton. And let's just we'll put 2 more layers plus another seam, and we'll stitch this together. Again, nothing to be concerned over when you're dealing with vintage machines. A lot of people, even people who have modern machines and they like them for certain reasons, will have a vintage machine in their stable because they get frustrated when they try to put anything that has any weight or heft to it, that they're going to have problems with a lot of the new machines. They can't handle the thick fabrics. So we'll get this sewing through some new layers. And again, it went right over there. Didn't miss a beat. And again, any of you don't have to have a 201 to accomplish this. Any vintage sewing machine that's all metal, heirloom quality, anything worth its salt, if it's operating properly, it should be sewing over most heavy fabrics. As long as you can get them under the foot, and there are limits to this. There's always going to be exceptions. So never let anybody on YouTube tell you, oh, it'll sew through anything. Well, no. Even industrials won't do that. But I'll tell you, these machines are incredible, and compared to a modern cheap plastic model, well, those things just don't compare at all. And that's not only my experience, but of course the experience that many of you have had. Now let's come over. I'm going to come over here just to remind you guys, look at the very incredible slow needle control that I always talk about singers being known for. Now what I'll do over here is I'll just simply shorten the stitch, and we'll do one last row to give you an idea of that incredible short stitch that I think that the rotary capable machines, whether you have a Singer rotary, a White rotary, or any other brand rotary from the vintage era, you should be able to get just, it almost looks like a solid line. So here you go, guys. This is the new row of stitches I just did. Again, I've increased the fabric layers, not a big deal for this machine. And you still see the longer stitches right here. The rotary shuttle can make a stitch that's so short and tight that it looks like a straight line. It's even hard to see. And maybe you can see it on this side right here, right? It's just remarkable. You can actually, I might want to adjust my tension just a bit. I typically start low and then I increase the upper tension as I go, as I'm testing machines. But no, it really is quite amazing. Again, 201s they are in the same category as Singer Featherweights 301s when it comes to that rotary stitch. If any of you have questions about your 201 or what you love about 201s, and maybe why you might want something in addition to your 201, other than the obvious fact that it doesn't do zigzag, but that's okay. It has other redeeming qualities. Thank you all for watching, folks. Trying to get more videos out and getting us as many as I possibly can for the month of December. Maybe some of you are taking off for the holidays. I hope you have that luxury. If you do, then maybe you'll have more time for visiting YouTube and looking at things like Singer 201s. Anyway, thanks for watching and stay tuned for the next video. I'm not sure which one it's going to be yet, but I believe it may have something to do with a treadle. Thank you.